So this backwards cap is trying to distract you away from the fact that I have no eyebrows. Anyway, before we go on, I have a Patreon if you want to support it. Links down below. I don't make any money out of any of these YouTube videos. I just do it because I find it fun. Look at my art on Etsy. Again, all links below. Help me out. It's hard out there for a pimp as it's raining finally. Okay, cool. Today's video is about when Paul and I went to Tokyo Tower, mainly to see the One Piece interactive exhibit, I guess you would call it. Paul's a huge One Piece fan, which is why we went. I've heard of One Piece, so kind of me making this video is like, I'm probably like the worst person to talk about this because it's like, I am not a fan. I don't know much about most anime. I know, it's like, oh my god, you're Asian, how do you not know anime? Like, blah, 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 blah. As you can see here, that is Tokyo Tower, or as some people go, that's a weird Eiffel Tower. Like, the One Piece thing is, you know, like down here, and then we end up actually going all the way up to this observation deck, which was 600 steps. And, yeah, we'll talk about more of that in a second. When you arrive at Tokyo Tower, you know, you can buy a ticket for just the One Piece thing. You can do the One Piece thing plus observation deck. You know, you can, like, you know, get your bundles and all that shit. So of course, since this is our first time in Japan and everything, we're like, fuck it, might as well kind of do it all. Like, let's see at the Tokyo Tower, you know, let's see the One Piece thing, obviously. So we got our tickets at the front, at the box office, and then we went in, you know, we went to, like, I think the third floor or something. Before we did that, we went to the gift shop in the first floor, and if you saw, like, my Japan vlog, I just kind of recorded a little bit of, like, the gift shops. Got a lot of, like, fun stuff. If you're, like, obviously really into the manga, anime, all that stuff, I can see, you know, you're just like, let's buy all of it. If Paul had space for collectibles, I know he would have bought some shit. Yeah, so from the gift shop, we went up like a, you know, escalator up to the third floor, and then that's where, you know, the adventure begins. And this whole exhibit thing is several floors. I think it goes up to, I think, the 5th floor, which is great. And I'm gonna be kind of comparing this to some of the other, like, interactive exhibit things, kind of like we went to go see, like, the Marvel, like, Shield thing, you know, which, by comparison, like, oh my god, like, we went to the Marvel thing twice, and that shit literally didn't hold up. Like, by the second time we went, we're like, oh, things are literally, like, falling off. Yes, God, what is it? Oh, see it? Things were literally, like, falling off the walls and stuff, and we're like, wow, good thing we, like, had all the fun the first time and just went back a second time because we brought someone else. But, ooh, but this stuff, you know, like, you know, they take care of it. So you go in, and there's, like, little turnstiles where you're supposed to kind of, like, what's the word, kind of, like, tap in your ticket. And since we have, like, regular, long, kind of, you know, concert-looking tickets, we're like, what the fuck do we tap in? So we had to get back in line, even though we were in line to buy the tickets. It was, like, a little weird. Because those little concert ticket thingies, it says, yes, you paid for your One Piece thing, but those weren't actual One Piece tickets. So you had to go back, you had to go to the One Piece box office to get your actual One Piece tickets to then, you know, tap in. It was just like, what? Huh? What? It was a lot of that for us, because the people there did speak a bit of English, but, like, very, very little. And then we're just being stupid Americans. We're like, why should we learn your language? You know? And so, they did that, and then they also asked us if we wanted to see the live show. And, you know, Paul's like, well, fuck it, we're here. And then, so they had, like, the times behind them. So, like, the next time for that was, like, at, like, fucking 2 o'clock or something. And I think by the time we got there, it was, like, noon or some shit. We're like, oh, that gives us, like, ample amount of time to, like, walk around the exhibit, ended with the live show, and then we're done kind of stuff. So, yeah, we go in, you know, they kind of quickly explain the rules, all in Japanese, but they have, like, a sign, you know, like, no flash photography, da-da-da, you know, like, all that stuff. They're, you know, like, whatever the rules. You go in, and then, like, the exhibit starts and all that fun shit. So, as you can see here, that's a huge, I'm guessing a turkey, because turkeys are really big, but let's just say chicken, you know. I didn't see a lot of meals in Japan, you know, that had turkey in it. But anyway, but that looked like real. Like, that got me hungry, and I fucking haven't eaten meat in ages. But anyway, you got Hootie McBoob, you got Rip Dabs 1 and Rip Dabs 2 with the big nose. Believe me, Paul explained to me the plot of The Thing and their names, and I'm just like, the trip's been about almost a month now, so I'm like, I don't remember these people. So it's fine, because I tell him about things and he, you know, it escapes his mind too. It's okay, that's how our friendship works. Anyway, so you go into this first room, and I guess they caught a big fish. Big fish. I am the worst person to talk about this exhibit, because it's like, I don't know what this pertains to. I probably should have recorded this with Paul or something. But, yeah, so we got big fish about to be served while it's tucked in a blanket. Then there's blobfish, which that's what I look like nude. If you have any inkling on wanting my nudes, that's what I look like. Like, if I had a Tinder profile or something, that would be like my main picture. And then we got Blondie with the cigarette thingy, and he's the chef guy, really skinny legs. Anywho, and then the freaking pots and pans. Well, this thing, the pot actually, like, you know, like that. As you can see, there's like a little sign that says like it's good. Yeah. So like you walk closer and it's like, oh, and you're supposed to be like, ah, because there were like girls in front of us and they were just like, oh, oh, and I was just kind of like, well, you didn't see that coming. Like, all right, you know. But again, I'm just that cynical. Oh, this is what's her name's room? Again, I'm like the worst person to talk about this. Someone's room, and it's all fancy and stuff. Obviously, it's a blurry photo of me because I was trying to, like, it's a really low to the ground, like, vanity mirror. So I was trying to, like, kind of squat and take a picture and be like, look at this room. But I almost fell because it's also, I was in Japan. It was hot. I got bad knees. There was a bit of humidity, you know, and so this is a photo I took. Anyway, we came up to this, and I was like, the fuck is no peeping? I was like, I knew we were going to Japan. I was just, damn, y'all weird motherfuckers. You look in there, and you actually, it's obviously you're looking at like a TV screen, but it's supposed to look like you're peeping into like a woman's shower. So you just see like a silhouette, and you just hear like oh kind of stuff. And I remember just being like looking through the hole, being like, am I really doing this right now? Am I peeping on someone in the shower? Okay, I think I'm done. This is, that's another blurry picture. Wow, I'm really good at taking photos. Okay, whatever character with a big head, doing things. Paul explained to me, he was like, that character is smart and does things, and I was like, that's great, man. Here is like the history of One Piece, like the inception of it being written, and then like the manga to the anime, and flably floobly flu. So, and there's Paul, finally. It's like, finally, yes, I did go with someone who knows about this. And there's Paul with his One Piece shirt that he got at Uniqlo, and he's enjoying things. I'm walking around being like, I don't know what this is about, because like, also everything's written in Japanese. I'm just there like, ba-ba-da-ba-ba, don't know what any of this shit means. I have angered the anime gods. Yeah, and I'm guessing these are like original transcripts or something. Cause hey, if it's in a fucking glass box, you know that shit's important. Tons of figurines and all that stuff, which very colorful. I like them. They're fun looking. Let's see. Oh, and then Paul gave me like the breakdown of all these islands, like, you know, it's in order of like where they went. Like, we went here, and he literally just broke it down for me. He was like, they went here, and then they had to do some shit, and then they gotta do this, and then the next one they went to this island, then they did this, and so, you know, Homegirl I was telling you about in that one, right? So then they had to go back to this and do that, go over there, and I was like, cool. And I was just like waiting for him to get to this cake island here. I was just like, okay, I get it, but like there's like little, you know, whatever. I just want to know about Cake Island, and then like, you know, you fucked up a pizza island, just because I'm like, I don't get what's going on. He explained it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, I see. But I was still like, it's one of those like, as someone's explaining and telling you, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm getting the gist of it. And then once they're done telling you, you're like, what? You know? Anyway, there's another one of these like porthole thingies, and that's those guys. you know? I like, it's really well done exhibit, and it's like, again, I don't know One Piece like that. Again, I don't know like a lot of anime like that, but I can tell it's accurate to the source material just because I've seen enough of it where I'm just like, oh, that's that thing. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's that thing, you know? But anyway, there's that character, the blackface character, I'm guessing. I don't know. And then they have costumes, which look awesome, and I'm just like, okay, let me look at these costumes. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty good costume. God, it is pouring. It is pouring out there. And then there's a little Scooty boat. Little Scooty Puff Jr. boat, something like that. I'm surprised they haven't like sold that like at the Nintendo store where they have the little like Mario Kart and stuff, like for kids. You know what I mean? I mean, like, your grown-ass adult self can get in it too, but there's probably like a limit, like weight limit. But anyway, there's a big guy in chains and two swords crossing. Again, Paul explained to me who that was, and I was like, all right, bro. Frozen bike. Oh my god. These seals are so cute. I kept calling them Wilford Brimley because they just, you know, they're all about diabetes. Also found it adorable that they're wearing like parkas. You know, you're just like, okay, alright. Yeah, frozen bike in the thing. You know, I'm guessing that says do not touch or something. Oh, this was one of like the many kind of like snack food areas. So this one, like, you know, just like any of these, just like if you go to like an amusement park or something and you go to like get something to eat, like nothing's prepared, you know, like, everything is just like, oh, cool, just here. Oh, you want that? Here, here. You know, no one's cooking in these places. Anywho, so yeah, there's like some manga down here. So we got a snack. I'm really angering the anime gods right now with me talking about this. But yeah, I have more pictures of the snacks later on. Yeah, so we go through all the different floors and we like kind of like, you know, explore everything, and there are also a lot of like, I don't know if Easter eggs is the right thing to say, but there's like a thing called like a passport thingy you can get, and then like there's little like stations where you can like stamp your like little One Piece passport. There was a dude with a sketchbook, and he would like cover a page of like this one stamp, and then you see him in like the next station, and I'm just like, I get it, you're a fan, all that stuff. And I remember saying to Paul, I was like, dude, you want me to like stamp like your ticket or like your arm, you know, or something, or like stamp it to my arm and then take a picture of it, you know, like, how do you want this to go? And he's like, no, it's fine. And I was just like, wow. I don't know. Just because I'm like knowing my ass, I'd be like, I need to get everything, you know. We're finally getting to our the time for us to go see the live show. So we were pretty much done looking at everything, because we even had time to like, we looked at everything, we had time to have a snack, and then we're like, hey, let's go line up for the live show. And so then, you know, you got these like little benches you sit on, kind of like when you're going to the circus. That's like the only thing I can think of. Because I remember when I was little, I went to the circus, you had those weird benches, and being a little kid, you're like, how do I sit on this? Because we were taller, we were like, let's sit towards the back, because we're large Americans. And they give you this like, you know, colorful wand that like, you know, the colors coordinate, to like the music and stuff, which is great. And they like to have audience participation, you know, like the very Asian thing where you're like la 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 la, you know, they like that whole like that weird rhythm that they go for, which, you know, of course my ass is like you know. But then I also looked at it and I'm thinking of it as like a popsicle, and I wanted to bite it and be like, ah, because again, it was hot just like it is now. So they allowed photography during the live show, which is obviously no flash, you know, all that stuff, because it fucks with the, you know, the performers. Again, everything was in Japanese. I had no idea what the fuck was happening, you know, throughout the entire performance. But Paul was like, oh, you got the gist of it. And I was like, I guess I understood what the fuck was going on. Like, things happen and exclamation. And I was like, I don't know. But it was just like, whatever. There was like this like Western couple next to us. I guess they understood Japanese, because they were like cracking up at they were like laughing with everyone else, while me and him were just like, you know, I don't know, man. Or they were just kind of like, they're laughing, we should laugh. I don't know what's going on. Anywho, but yeah, so some of the performance, all that shit, and they all did a great job. Like, you know, kudos on them, you know, doing whatever the storytelling is. And there was one part, like, towards the end, I guess it's like the final battle or whatever the hell was happening, and the actors were doing, like, a lot of, like, jumping and tumbling and all that stuff, and I was just like, okay, I'm getting tired watching you do that, you know? I was just like, oh my god. Like, at first you're like, okay, because it's a very small stage, and there's like 7 of them, so they're doing a lot of, oh, push, huh, whoa, like a lot of that, and you're like, cool, fine. Like, no one's expecting, like, you know, fucking, you know, like Matrix fighting style, like, oh my god, you know? But then, like, towards the end of it, it was, like, starting to get there where they would just be like, like, flip, oh, cartwheel, oh my god, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, whoa, bros, you know you have, like, 8 to 10 hours of this shit, right? You know, because there's like a new show every hour, so you're like, you know, I'm just like, I see why all y'all so mad thin and, you know, svelte and shit, because probably my ass would be like that too if I got some damn exercise once in my fucking life. I love that I got this shot. This guy was really great with the swords. Like, he was like, he had that shit out, and then he was just like doing all this crazy stuff, and like was able to sheath it again without being like, alright, got it, you know, because again, that'd be me. They're like, hey man, things happening, and they're like, I know, things happening. And then this character, I call it the drag queen, which I just want to be like, hey man, I'm gonna need you to wear a cup. Because, you know, most of the time, it's like his gown was covering bits and pieces, but there was one part where, like, he opened it up, and I was like, bro, I can see your dingle and your berries, man. I'm gonna need you to, like, put a cup on so I don't see, like, all the shapes of, you know, your world, man. I was like, ha! You know, it was just like, Anyway, this part had me cracking up because it was just like, big fisted fun, And then they're like, we will reconcile things and stuff, right? Yeah, things and stuff being reconciled. So that was, like, the One Piece thing. You know, it's fun. Kids love it. A lot of the younger crowd, of course, enjoyed it. Paul had, like, a lot of, you know, fun. Because there were a lot of things where, like, it wasn't just, like, an exhibit. There was also, like, I don't want to say gambling. But there was a lot of, like, arcade kind of stuff. The best way to describe it's like, you know, boardwalk games kind of shit, because there's a character, I guess, who does like the slingshotty shit in the show or whatever hell medium you want to call it, and you were like, you had to do your little slingshot stuff. I was being aggressive, so like the girl kept coming over to me and be like, no, you have to hold it like this and then pull. I was just like, whoopsh, and I wasn't like hitting a lot of targets, you know what I mean? I knocked down like 3, I think, out of 6, and Paul knocked, I think, 5 out of 6, you know, because, you know, of the 2 of us, one of us has been in the service, I'm just saying, so, I'm just like, you know, and he's just like, and I'm just like, and I'm like, when, you would know when I'm shooting it, because his would be like, boop, poop, poop, mine were like, bap, bap. Like, I was like, I'm that person when I play skee-ball and I just like crank it like way too crazy, and it's like, dude, you just hit like, you put a hole in the wall. Like, I'm that person, because, you know. After that, we were like, okay, because we had the snack and we're pretty jazzed and stuff, we're like, yeah, let's go explore the rest of Tokyo Tower. And, you know, it was like, oh, go in the elevator to whatever, like, the deck or something, and then blah, blah, blah. So we get there, and we're outside, we're like, okay, cool. I'm like, alright, cool, how do we get to, like, the observation deck? And we just saw these, like, 2 ladies with the table and stuff, and there was, like a staircase, and we're just like, oh, they handed us, like, little card thingies, like, they look like little business cards. We're like, cool. They had, like, an image of Tokyo Tower, and we're like, awesome, thank you. Put it in my pocket. So we, like, start heading up the stairs, and we're just like, awesome, okay, yeah, cool, cool. And, like, you know, as you're going further and further up, it's like telling you, like, you're at, you know, like, stair step, you know, number 100, you know, it's like, well, 200. And we're like, cool. And after a while, it was like, how much more? you know? And I was just like, I made it through St. Paul's Cathedral. I can do this. Because I think St. Paul's Cathedral was like 400 steps or something. I think counting if you went from the crypt all the way up to like the tippy dick top, which is funny because it's a cathedral, so I'm saying dick. It was like 500 or some there's an accent, 450, something like that. But like I guess a manageable amount. Plus there was more resting spots, whereas this was just stairs, just fucking stairs. And we passed by like some people, and then there were some people coming down the stairs, but it wasn't a lot. And I just kept thinking about like when I was younger and I went to the Statue of Liberty and how like it wasn't clear like that. You weren't just like, go up the stairs, you know, like it took us like 3 hours to get to the fucking crown kind of shit. Like it was like some time, and then you didn't even realize you were still in the pedestal until you got to the point where you're actually in the statue and it was a spiral staircase, and you're like, oh, so my last 45 minutes is going up the fucking, you know, statue. Alright, you know. So we're going up, and it was just like, you know, and I'm a little bit more out of shape than normal because I just haven't had a job in a while, you know, and so, you know, I'm just kind of at home, you know, and Paul, like, you know, he does manual labor, so, you know, he's a little bit more fit than me to a degree, so he's like, you know, always like 10 steps ahead of me, and like, take it away. So anyway, we went all the way up, and there's one part where there's one part where like I wasn't just kind of like leaning and like, you know, taking a deep breath. I just like flat out just like splayed down like just like on the landing. Like I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't think anyone is behind us right now because we passed by that one family ages ago, and I doubt there's anyone in front of us. So we're like, you know, and then like Paul kept saying like, we're halfway there, we're almost there. And I'm just like, dude, you're like, I love you, man, but you're lying. Because you can look up the thing and be like, nah, you know? You're like, you look up there and you're like, no. Anyway, so once we finally, you know, got there, and there was like this big banner thing, as you can see here, that's like, goal, you cleared 600 stairs. And I had Paul take that picture because it's an achievement, god damn it. Because if I did St. Paul's Cathedral, I did that. You know, I'm like, that's it, you know? And then we get up there and we're like schwitzing like crazy, just like, and all I'm thinking is like, okay, is there a vending machine up there? I just need like something to drink, because we didn't have anything to drink on us because we were like, we're gonna go up to top, you know? And then we get up there, we're seeing like elderly people, we're seeing small children. The elderly people are not dead. The children are like, you know, still energetic, and the adults are just like, we're having drinks and that, and it's great, and blah. But me and him were like, you know, all that stuff. And then we're like trying to enjoy the lovely view from Tokyo Tower. So we're like walking around, and then we notice elevators. Ah! Bitch! We're like, we could have taken an elevator up here. Are you fucking eating my ass right now? Like, we're like, what the fuck? We got up there, and then it was just like, ladies were like, towers. And it was funny because there was a vending machine right by the fucking stairs. Like, I probably could have taken that as a sign of like, maybe you might want me, you know? And we're like, oh my god. So, you know, if you want a good workout, take the stairs. If not, find the elevator. So we were just like, I was like out of breath. I was like, elevators. Because there's some things where it's like, you can only take the stairs up, but you're allowed elevators down kind of thing. But this was like, up elevators, down elevators. And I was like, fuck you. And I just said to Paul, I was like, you know? So we like walked around, and, you know, there's pictures. It's a lovely view. You get to see, you know, the very like metropolis of Tokyo and all that stuff. Because most of the time we weren't really like in Tokyo. We were just kind of like, you know, we were like in Shinjuku and Shibuya, like in those parts. So let's not look at, oh god, I took a picture of a lot of graves, Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah, there was also another section that if you want to go really to like to the very, very top of Tokyo Tower, but it was like an additional like $20 or something. And Paul was like, do you want to do it? And it was just like a simple like there you go, just pop in an elevator. And I was just thinking like money-wise, and I love food, and I was like half dead. And I was just like, nah, man, I was like, we don't need to do that, it's fine. He's like, alright, that's fine with me, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm cool with it too. And I was like, alright, cool, because I'm like, this guy, you know. So we took another walk around, took more pictures, did all that fun stuff, and then we took the damn elevator down. And the entire time we're in the elevator, I was just like, because while you're like in the elevator down, you get to see like the lovely, you know, like view of Tokyo Tower. And I was like, oh yeah, we had that view too, but like from stairs, and dying, and then being like, ah, it's high up, you know. So I was just like, you son of a bitch. That was like me, like, that's my experience at Tokyo Tower. And then when we got downstairs, we were gonna eat at one of those other like One Piece restaurant cafe things. One of them I think only had like meat stuff, so I was like, there's no way I can eat. And there was another one where we could have eaten at. It was kind of more buffet style. I don't think they were open, or they were like in the middle of like a shift change, because we got in there and the dude who was like at the front desk just looked at us and just like continued on doing what he was doing, and we were like, okay. So we went and had like Moss Burger, which was fine because I got my soy burger, but again, I was like dying, and drinks in Japan were like this, so it's just like, ooh, this orange juice, you know. Speaking of food, let me go find those snacks. Oh yeah, so that was a drink. Again, it's small drinks, so those are like the large, or I guess the regular size. They don't really have large, you know. Their larges aren't even that large, because again, big fat American. So yeah, so I had the drink. I think it was Coke or something, I don't remember. It was just something. There's, you know, big shoulder guy. That I thought that was like an ice cream sandwich. You know, it's like a waffle and like ice cream in the middle, because I was like, okay, it's kind of warm. But it wasn't. It was just cake and frosting. So when I picked it up and like I bit into it, it was just like warm dough, even though it was like, it felt cold, but when you bit into it, it was like warm dough and just like cream, and I was just like, So I ate one half of it, I gave the other half to Paul. He was like, what's wrong? And I just went, I thought it was gonna be ice cream, because it's just like a mouthful of cream, and I was like, oh, oh my god. But yeah, oh, you can see the receipt, oh, you can see the hotel phone, and then my pretty camera, because it was taken on my phone. And then Paul had some whatever iCarly spaghetti taco thing going on here. It's like a hot dog bun, right? Like a little hot dog bun. There's spaghetti, meat. It's like meat and veggies and then onions. And it was like, alright, that was like the snack bar. We're like, I guess, you know, like, what is that? Like, that's just so weird. He said it was good, but like, bro. But yeah, after this, you know, walked to the train station. Right by the train station was a 7-Eleven. I got one of those big, you know, like, whatever sweat drinks, which is like their version of Gatorade. And then we got on the train and we went to Team Labs, which that's the next Japan video. Anyway, to close off this video, yeah, if you're into One Piece, I would say this, you know, One Piece experience thing is worth it, because, you know, like, I'm not, like, again, I'm not a fan of it, but I, you know, totally see all the stuff they're referencing that Paul explained to me. It's very colorful. Like, you could take a shit ton of pictures. You could have a ton of fun. You could buy a bunch of merch if you fucking want to. You know, it's one of those, like, fuck it kind of things. And we went, I think it was like a Saturday, so it was definitely a little bit more people, but we went during, like, the afternoon, so we made sure we kind of, like, did not hit like the big crowd, because I also looked online. It was just like it was like it gets really crazy around 3 o'clock till closing, and I was like, okay, no. I'm like, if it's too many people, I'm like, and then children, and I'm like, it can't, and in a foreign country. But anyway, yes. So this was One Piece Tokyo Tower, explained by someone who does not know anything about One Piece. All right.